Hey there, welcome back to Eastbound YouTube. On this channel, I create videos that are meant for small creators just starting on YouTube. On today's video, I'm going to give a breakdown and review of the Movo VXR10. In my opinion, one of the best things you can do for your video quality in the beginning is to get a better mic. Who's this video for? Now, I will do audio comparisons using this mic, so regardless of what setup you have, it will still have information that's useful to you. But specifically, I'm aiming this video at YouTube creators who are using their iPhone to start their YouTube channel. I just started a series of videos on how best to use your iPhone and how best to use really any smartphone in general to create great YouTube content. So really, this video is specifically aimed at people who are wanting to upgrade from the microphone on their iPhone into something different, and why this is or maybe isn't a good option. Just for a disclaimer, for most of this video, I will be using the Rode video mic, but there will be sections where I use the Movo, and every section of the video will be labeled using what microphone I'm using. I still think an iPhone is an amazing tool when you're first starting on YouTube. This video, in fact, is recorded using my iPhone 11 Pro. However, one of the biggest issues with iPhones isn't their video quality, it's actually their audio quality. Their mics are meant to pick up phone calls or concerts or going out with your friends. In general, their mics pick up so much extra sound, which is great if you're trying to record content of you for Instagram or out and about, but it's awful for YouTube. So one of the first things you should do if you're using an iPhone or any other similar smartphone is look into upgrading into a mic. And today I'm going to talk about why Movo is a good option for you to upgrade your mic. In this video, I'm going to break down several things, some general information on the product, some pros and cons, setups that this mic works well in, and lastly, I'm going to do some audio comparisons between the iPhone 11 Pro mic setup and then the Movo. Timestamps will be down below in case you just want to jump to those comparisons. So the first mic I bought for my YouTube journey was this Movo. One of the things I hated the most about my video quality once I got lighting down was just how bad the audio was. The iPhone mics, as you'll see later in this video, pick up a lot of reverb, a lot of background noise, and because on my main channel I sometimes do spoken word or just talking head videos like this, I needed a better microphone. So I went out there and I saw what was available. Now, originally I wanted the Rode Video Micro. However, there was a bunch of reasons why I ultimately went up with going with this, the Movo, which is its cheaper competitor. The Movo is designed exactly the same as the Video Micro. There's several reasons why I chose the Movo over the Video Micro. One of the biggest reasons was price and availability. This Movo is only $40 on Amazon or $30 used, whereas the Rode was $60, but the catch was if you could find availability for it. The one place that I found it for at retail value, it was going to take over a month to ship from purchase date. And then to get the Video Micro on at a reasonable time, you have to go through these resellers and their markups are insane. To get it within 2 days, the lowest price I saw was $90, which is an additional $30. And at that point, you might as well move up to a different category of mic quality altogether. So I needed a mic now, and then that's why I picked Movo. Additionally, I watched a ton of YouTube videos breaking down the difference between the Video Micro and the Movo, and to me, I couldn't hear really that much difference, especially enough of a difference for me to wait a month or to pay a huge upcharge. So a little bit about what's included. You get the mic, you get this dead cat, and then you get this mount. The mount has an adapter so you can screw it onto most threaded attachments such as a tripod or whatever. But another thing I like is that it has a cold shoe adapter, which makes it really easy to add into a lot of different setups. In fact, I'll show you some of my favorite setups later in this video. What also is included is this cable. I love this cable so much because it is what's called a TRS to a TRRS. And if you look, this has 2 black bands and then this has 3 black bands. To use this with your iPhone, you're going to need this cable. One of the biggest issues I've had with other microphones is that they don't include this cable, and you have to buy an adapter to downsize from this 2 black band into this 3 black band. But I've struggled to find adapters that work for non-powered microphones. So the inclusion of this cable is amazing because it saves you from having to buy another adapter, and it just works. Now for the iPhone users, especially those who have an iPhone who is newer that no longer has the audio jack, you're going to need the Lightning adapter. I'll link one in below, and in general, I would just say go for the official Apple product. It's a little bit more, but I've bought in 2 different ones from the cheap knockoff ones that did not work. So you're gonna need this adapter to plug in directly to your iPhone. That's just something you need to know and add to your list in case you wanna get this. Luckily, most of us have that adapter lying around. Unfortunately, I didn't think I was gonna need it because almost all my headphones are Bluetooth, so I got rid of the adapter. But luckily, it's pretty cheap and easy to get on Amazon. Now for some pros. This is what they call an unpowered microphone, which means there's no batteries. So you don't have to charge it. You don't have to worry about bringing batteries. You just plug it in and it works. It's super great because you don't have to worry about, did I charge my mic? Did I bring batteries? How's that gonna work into my setup? Next is it's super small. If you're setting up with a vlogging setup or any of these other setups I'll show later in this video, it just fits everywhere and it's super easy to attach. It doesn't get in the way. It doesn't ever get in the frame of your shot. It's super small. It's super effective. Next is it's cheap. And even though it's cheap, I still think it provides excellent audio quality. It being cheap allows me to have extra budget to buy the other things I need in my YouTube studio. And the last big pro for me is that it's directional audio. This is what's called the shotgun mic, which means it's designed to pick up audio directly in front of the microphone, not so much from the sides, which is great because one of the issues I had when I was using just the iPhone microphone is that it picked up a lot of reverb in the room. And here in my studio, I'll show you an example, but I have a busy street just outside my window. So even when there's a lot of noise or background noise, the shotgun style of microphone cuts that out, which is why shotgun microphones are one of my favorite styles of microphones to use in my video creation. Here we have one of the most basic setups, which is often called a vlogging setup. Here we have the phone in a mount that has a cold shoe adapter. The cold shoe adapter allows you just to throw the mic on top of the phone and bam, you have something that's set up so you can get really great vlogging footage and great audio with that. Next, we have this setup where if you want to throw in a basic ring light for better lighting, here you go. You can throw your phone in there and the mic inside of it, and it allows you to have much better lighting. Once again, this is a super basic setup, but it's a great option for adding light and getting better audio. Next is my setup. This is the setup that I'm currently using for this video and most of my videos. It's mounted on a tripod along with the teleprompter where my phone is mounted. I mount the mic just down below on this adjustable tripod. That way I can get the mic just a little bit closer to me and adjust the angle at which the mic is from my mouth, which is important for certain styles of audio. A next example is my setup, but with the ring light. Sometimes I use the ring light if I don't want to set up other light. This is also great because the way the iPhone is mounted, I'm talking at the iPhone and the ring light. So it allows the mic to be up high and get a lot of my voice. Once again, my favorite setup is this third option because it allows the mic to get a little bit closer to me, which is important. And before we move on to the audio comparisons, I would like to just ask if you are getting any value out of this video, consider liking. And if you're interested in more content like this that's trying to help small creators grow with tools like iPhones or smartphones, please consider subbing and joining me on this journey of trying to help other creators. Now that we're into the mic comparison of the video, I just want you to know I've officially switched over to the Movo. I'll be using the Movo for the rest of this video. You can probably already hear an audio difference between the video mic and the Movo. Even though this video isn't about directly comparing them, if you are curious about the difference, you can get a little hint of that right now. On the first part of this mic comparison, we're gonna have 2 different situations. In this first one, I'm gonna run through a quick poem that I do. Like I said on my other channel, I do spoken word. So I'm just gonna give an example of me reading a poem to give you the idea of audio quality. In the first scenario, I'm gonna do the iPhone mic and then the Movo. And in the second comparison, I'm gonna turn on a fan that's directly behind the phone, still a couple feet away, so you can get a sense of the kind of audio that the different mics do or do not pick up. I have found pieces of my mind in the pages of books. Littered in the margins are the traces of the most important of my insights. I have found pieces of my mind in the pages of books. Littered in the margins are the traces of the most important of my insights. I have found pieces of my mind in the pages of books. I have found pieces of my mind in the pages of books. Littered in the margins are the traces of the most important of my insights. Littered in the margins are the traces of the most important of my insights. I have found pieces of my mind in the pages of books. Littered in the margins are the traces of the most important of my insights. I have found pieces of my mind in the pages of books. Littered in the margins are the traces of the most important of my insights. I have found pieces of my mind in the pages of books. I have found pieces of my mind in the pages of books. Littered in the margins are the traces of the most important of my insights. Littered in the margins are the traces of the most important of my insights. Some of the things I noticed right off the bat is just the sheer amount of background noise, regardless with the fan going or not. When I use the Movo, a lot of that gets cleaned up, and I love the way that sounds. I love the way it just seems quieter, and a lot of the background noise that isn't necessary for the video falls away. Now, real quick, one of the last things I want to demonstrate is the magic of post-processing. One of my favorite things to do is to take my videos and then mess with the audio so I can make sure to get the audio as well as I can. You can probably notice in the beginning of this video, not only did I have the video mic, but I was also using a lot of audio processing. So I want to run through those audio comparisons and use the same set of filters to give you a sense of what that audio could be. Now, on a personal level, these are just the audio sets I like. Not everyone does like them. You may find them enjoyable listening to, you may not. But I just want to demonstrate the best potential for each of these mics. I have found pieces of my mind in the pages of books. Littered in the margins are the traces of the most important of my insights. I have found pieces of my mind in the pages of books. Littered in the margins are the traces of the most important of my insights. I have found pieces of my mind in the pages of books. Littered in the margins are the traces of the most important of my insights. I have found pieces of my mind in the pages of books. Littered in the margins are the traces of the most important of my insights. I have found pieces of my mind in the pages of books. I have found pieces of my mind in the pages of books. Littered in the margins are the traces of the most important of my insights. Littered in the margins are the traces of the most important of my insights. And there you go. Those are the audio tests. I hope that helped you really get an idea of what these mics are capable of what the difference between an iPhone mic setup is and then this Movo. One of my favorite things about the Movo is it's an amazing way to upgrade the quality of your videos. And what I've found with video production is that a lot of these upgrades you do are very expensive. Like I talked in my other video, to upgrade your camera, you're looking at $400, $500, $600 for a base good camera. However, this mic is an amazing upgrade. It's only $40, and later down, if you want to get better mics or better setups, that's also a possibility. But for $40, it is such an amazing improvement to your overall video quality. And it's one of my favorite and #1 suggestions to new YouTube creators, especially if you're using an iPhone. So thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you got any value out of this, consider liking, consider joining this journey. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope this helped you.